This week is Quail Week. For our starter, we'll have boiled quail eggs, our entree will be baked quail, and the dessert will be a creme brulee. Hi, I'm Tex. Welcome to Fowl Cooking. For creme brulee, you need sugar, cream, 6 eggs, vanilla extract, a torch, preferably a whisk, but all we have is a spatula, a medium mixing bowl, and creme brulee dishes that you can bake in. You just need the yolk. So now I'm going to go ahead and yolk these eggs. So you just go ahead and take the yolks out of your eggs until you have all 6 finished, and you put them aside until later. So after you've gotten the yolks out of your eggs, go ahead and preheat the oven to about 325 degrees Fahrenheit. So after you're finished with your eggs, go ahead and use some hand sanitizer so you don't get raw eggs all over everything else. And now we're going to go ahead and mix our vanilla and cream in a saucepan. And here I'm using light cream and a little bit of condensed milk for 2 reasons. Number 1, we didn't have enough cream. And number 2, light cream and condensed milk, it'll give you the same consistency as heavy whipping cream, but with less fat. So here we're just going to heat up the cream and a little bit of vanilla together in a saucepan and let it simmer for about 15 minutes. While you're heating the cream and the vanilla together, it's important to keep it stirred so you don't burn the milk and so it gets evenly mixed. And now we're just going to stir it and let it simmer for about 15 minutes. Now that we have the cream and vanilla boiling, we're going to take it off the heat and let it sit for another about 10-15 minutes. So after you remove your cream and vanilla mixture from the heat, you're going to let it sit and you should cover it. We don't have lids for pots, so I'm going to cover it with a baking sheet. And now you just let it stand for 10 minutes. Now we have to whisk together the 6 egg yolks and half a cup of sugar. For a whisk, we're going to use a fork because we have very little supplies here. Now, you just want to whisk it until it's well blended and the eggs start to lighten in color. And here we go, it's all whisked. You can see it's a lighter yellow color, and if you see or feel the texture, it should be a slightly grainy paste. Now that we have our egg and sugar mixture, we're going to take the cream that we let sit earlier, and we're slowly going to mix that in. You just want to do a bit at a time, that way it gets well mixed. Again, you blend it until it's one consistent color throughout. Now that we have our liquid mix, we're going to dish it into creme brulee bowls, that way we can bake it. Do that again. when you've got the bowl filled, you're going to set it into a deep dish baking pan. Once you've got all of your bowls filled and in the pan, pour water in the pan around the bowls until it's about halfway up their sides. Now, we take the pan over to the oven and we'll let it bake for about 40 to 45 minutes until the creme brulee is set, but it's still jiggling in the center. And now you let it wait. After your creme brulee bakes for about 40 minutes, it should be slightly browned on top, and it should still jiggle if you move the pan a bit. So you're going to take it out of the oven, and then remove the dishes and put them in the refrigerator for at least 2 hours. Go ahead and set these in the refrigerator. Make sure you use an oven mitt because the water in the pan is going to be boiling and these dishes get very hot. Now, to let your creme brulee set, you want it to sit in the fridge for at least 2 hours, but it can sit for up to 3 days to get it set perfectly. And there we go. Creme brulee is just about done. Now we're going to make some baked quail. We're going to need quail and the egg whites from when you made the creme brulee, some flour, and some Old Bay. First, what we'll do, we'll make our coating, which is going to be flour and Old Bay. Just toss a little of each on a plate, and then go ahead and mix it up with your hands. Now, once you have the coating mixed up, take your quail, dip it into the egg white, make sure you get the whole thing coated. And go ahead and roll it in your coating. Again, make sure you get the whole quail coated real nice. Once you've done that, you can move it over to your baking pan. There we go. Just do the same thing with the others. Again, make sure you have the entire thing coated well. And then with the last two here, we're just going to bake them as is. So we're just going to toss them right there on our baking tray. And then for a baste, we'll go ahead and pour in a bit of the egg yolk. And then we'll add some water. And then these will cook for about an hour to an hour and a half. And go ahead and baste them every 20 minutes or so while they're baking. We'll stick the quail in the oven at about 320 degrees for an hour, and then you check them, see how tender they are. If they're tender and ready to peel off the bone, you go ahead and stop them. If not, give them another 20 minutes or so.